Well, when he came in at Man United, his entire career was characterized with injuries. After he broke his leg, that saw him out for close to 8 months, and that is Luke Shaw. And I think it was under Louis van Gaal. And we are all excited when Jose Mourinho came in through, and he obviously played his first game in 2016. That is none other than Luke Shaw. By the time we bought him from Southampton, he was the most expensive teenager in the Premier League. That is Luke Shaw in there for you. And he has been having a very good spell at Man United, but this time round, he has really suffered an injury ahead of the Nottingham Forest game. David Austin broke the story, and then the website of Manchester United went ahead to confirm it to us that it's really true, and we wait and see what the scans are really going to let us know about how long Luke Shaw is going to be out of action. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and you know exactly what it's all about. It's all about us coming in through to bring you the latest news and information. As far as Facundo Pellistri is concerned, has gone ahead and obviously spoken how competitive he is at Man United and what he learned from Man United last season, because he never went on loan, but he learned a lot. And lastly, Antony Martial being rated the best number 9 at Carrington by the goalkeeper. And let me tell you this, it's a defender who can tell you who the best striker is. You know, it's a goalkeeper who can tell you who the best striker is. That is it, because they are the ones who face them and obviously know how to obviously deal with them. Some have been humiliated, some have pocketed others. So when a goalkeeper comes out and obviously speaks out, that means he's speaking out on the best side of the information. That is it. Let's start it off with Luke Shaw. It was none other than David Austin breaking the story that Luke Shaw has suffered a muscular injury and he's expected to be sidelined for an extended period. Assessments ongoing in hope the 20-year-old left back will miss weeks rather than months. Blow to Man United and England before Euro qualifiers. Now, after him putting out that, we really got to know that it's true, because David Austin always gets his stories from the source. And Manchester United, minutes later, put up a story on their website that read, Luke Shaw sustains injury ahead of Forest match. Manchester United defender Luke Shaw has sustained an injury which will rule him out of the forthcoming games. The muscle issue is still being assessed, but the England left back is expected to be out of action for a number of weeks. United are currently preparing for Saturday's Premier League match against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. Eric Ten Hag may provide an update on the team news during the press conference today, which will be available at 13:30 hours, meaning that it's going to be at 3:30 on Friday. Part 2 of the press conference will be available from midnight on Friday. So you know he does 2 press conferences, but the most important bit of it is Luke Shaw really getting an injury and being out of action for unspecified period of time. It is said he might spend weeks, not months, according to David Austin, but wait and see how that really comes to pass. But this puts Eric Ten Hag's job in jeopardy. Do you know why? There would be understudy for Luke Shaw, that is Tyrell Malacia, was also injured no sooner he returned from the holidays. And right now, we are left with 2 options, or 2 players that can play onto the left back position of Manchester United. That is Alvaro Fernandez and Diego Dallo. One will also talk about Lisandro Martinez, but I don't see Eric Ten Hag getting Lisandro Martinez out of the central defense and playing him at the left back. And this comes in at a very bad time when we are going to play Arsenal. To me, I believe the best candidate to obviously get into that position is going to be Diego Dallo. We've seen him play on the left back, though he's right-footed, and it's shown us that he's really good at the job that he does for the club of Manchester United. So we really pray for Luke Shaw such that he obviously gets him healed. And this shows you that Eric Ten Hag had the right intent to get in the doctor at Arsenal to come in through and obviously become the head of physios for Manchester United, because he said Arsenal doesn't get very many injuries. That is it. But Manchester United players are really having huge injuries. Now, as it stands, we are having a long list of 6 or 7 players that are really injured. The first player to get injured was Ariel Malacia. No sooner had we returned from the holidays, followed by Amad Diallo. After Amad Diallo, that was Kobe Menu. After Kobe Menu, then we saw Tim Heaton getting injured. Then Rasmus Højlund is injured. I'm counting Rasmus Højlund because this is the medical team that obviously passed his medical, and I think they would have gone ahead to do the needful. So if he's injured, then it's on them. Then there is Mason Mount and now Luke Shaw. 7 players are really injured. 7 players are really injured, and it shows you that maybe something is not going right at Man United. Are these players eating right? Do they rest enough? And it worries you when a 24-year-old player like Mason Mount gets injured, because it worries you. At the age of 24, you are supposed not to get injuries like that. You should be so much onto the game. Luke Shaw, 28 years of age, at least has been really trying to force himself into all these games, whether injured or not. But if at all he's injured, that will act like a rest for him, because they played lots of games last season. That is it. But remember, we are playing Nottingham Forest over the weekend. That means Diego Dallo is going to come in through and get some playing time. And for Mason Mount being out, to me, I took it as a blessing in disguise for Manchester United, because it's time for Erik ten Hag to rediscover himself. That the player he bought, £60 million, was blindfolding him, and we are going to lose very many games if at all we obviously used him. Sometimes Eriksen is not a physical player, but the way he gets us into movement, especially connecting the midfield to the attack through his line breaking passes and his composure on the ball, giving us control, is compared to no one in the team. Mason Mount cannot give it to us. He cannot give us intensity, yet that's what we brought him for at the club of Manchester United. So that is one of the problems that we are going to encounter at Man United, and you'll obviously understand why Erik ten Hag is really going to get a breather. That is it. He's going to get a breather and a bit of fresh air into his team selection, because if this guy, Mason Mount, has been fit, oh my God, he would have kept him on the field of play to really confirm to his bosses that I needed this player and I'm using him, because there is no, you'll tell your bosses that they spent £60 million on the player and he never really showed up to the occasion. So that is it. So for Luke Shaw, we wish you a quick recovery, and may the living true God bless you through this and see you get back as soon as possible, because this club needs you. You are the first choice left back of Man United, and sometimes Ten Hag played you as a left-sided centre-back at the club of Manchester United. That is the bad news coming in from the camp of Manchester United as far as Luke Shaw is really concerned. Tim Heaton, one of the players that is nearing his return into the stitches of Man United, especially that at the training ground of Carrington, was asked on who is the best finisher at Manchester United. He said Antony Martial. He can bend it, he can whip it, he can go with power, he can lift it over you, he's got the composure, the sort of calmness in front of goal that makes it difficult for a goalkeeper. So I'm not surprised. Trust me, if it were not the injuries that have gone ahead to stop his career, trust me, last season Anton Martial would have gone ahead to hit close to 30 goals. That is it. Because he had like 10, and he played half of the season. If at all he had managed to play close to 40, 50 games, he would have gone ahead to register 30 goals a season. But the problem is he's an injury-prone player, and I don't know how he's going to overcome this, because Ten Hag gave him a chance he has always called in for, that he wants a manager to pamper him, make him the main man of the team, especially as far as leading the line is concerned. Ten Hag gave him all that, but he failed to obviously utilize it. It's not himself who failed him. Injuries failed Anton Martial to be that kind of player that we all know. But all these abilities that Tim Heaton has gone ahead to talk about Anton Martial, bending it, whipping it, using power, lifting it over you, calmness and composure, guys, he's really off this world. His pursuits are really great. You know, they're exquisite, and he obviously directs them to goal with the direct power. And one thing I like about him is not selfish like Marcus Rashford. You know, if you are a striker who is really modern, you need to find ways of really finding others or involving others into play, something that Anton Martial is going to hate to do very, 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 very well. So to me, he hit the nail on its top, and obviously it's Anton Martial. But let's wait and see how Rasmus Højlund really betters as it comes into the United starting 11, because let's wait for him after the preseason, after the international break, like around like around 16th. That's when we anticipate this guy to be obviously back. That is Rasmus Højlund, and we'll see who the best finisher at the club of Manchester United at Carrington will be. Now, I want to conclude this video with a story coming in from Facundo Pellistri. Facundo Pellistri went ahead and obviously addressed his issues that last year I stayed the whole season and I improved a lot at all levels. And of course, being here, he also gained a lot of experience. We have very good players and the competition is there, and it's good. Whoever is the best at the moment will play, because all what want to win are trophies. That is Facundo Pellistri for you. A man that I've gone ahead to really believe that he's really good. Facundo Pellistri is a good player. He has shown this every time Ten Hag has gone ahead to bring him on the field of play. You saw to it that when he came on through, when you're playing Tottenham Hotspur, he was the next to us scoring a goal. He really put in those performances that most of us liked throughout the game. He had a cameo, but that cameo was really out of this world. But I love the player, Facundo Pellistri, but rumors are Sheffield are interested in getting him on loan and other Premier League teams. I know very many Premier League teams we are going to take interest in this player. And I rubbished all the links to FC20, because if you want to get a player into the Premier League and you're grooming him to be a Premier League player for Man United, all what you have to do is to loan him either in the Championship or in the Premier League. Look at Amad Diallo. In the Championship, he scored close to 13, 14 goals in his season and put up some assists. That is Amad Diallo for you. And if at all it were not the injuries, trust me, would have gone ahead to give Antony a run for that position every time he went into play. So look at Hannibal at Birmingham. Ten Hag is impressed with the player and doesn't want even to move him on a loan, because he believes that Hannibal is a player that can suit his style of play at Manchester United. Look at Alvaro Fernandez, a player that can come in through as a replacement for Luke Shaw for meantime. He went ahead and played for Preston North End, and he really did very well in the Championship, and he is obviously ready to give in all his all. That's why you see teams like Burnley are interested into that player. So I would rather loan Facundo Pellistri in the Premiership or Championship teams other than sending him to Italy, Serie A, FC20, because his loan at Alvarez in Spain never really worked out. So guys, your thoughts on Luke Shaw injured are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Anton Martial being regarded the best finisher at Carrington? And lastly, what do you make about Facundo Pellistri throwing in his words as far as his learning to the team are really concerned? So guys, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. We thank God for the gift of life. And my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Juma Karim, endeavor to go to the mosque and say that prayer gathering brings Allah close to you. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. It might sound as a repetition, but God will call him every time we need him to obviously show up and defend us. Peace out.